podcast party. Descent into Avernus.
My name is Painbearer Corbin Shiv. My friends and I, well, we're in hell. We're trying to escort a group of refugees through the ruined city of Elturel to the only place we think might be safe, the Temple of High Hall. We just fought our way across Torm's Bridge, a bridge that connects the east and west sides of the city. And we can see the river Styx and armies of demons and devils fighting way down below.
I immediately put both hands on my own chest and will lay hands on myself for 20 hit points.
Okay.
Is everyone else okay? Does someone else need healing?
I'm kinda beat up, yeah.
Okay, then I heal you for 17 hit points.
Ooh, good one.
Very nice.
Thank you.
We need to get these people over this bridge while it's clear.
Yeah. They're not gonna leave it unguarded forever, so let's run back and get the others and get across.
Agreed.
Taking advantage of the situation, you run across back to the eastern side of the bridge and knock on the door. Well, I guess maybe you guys had a special knock.
Yeah, shave and a haircut.
Yeah, the door opens and the kids are laughing. They are having a grand old time in the middle of hell here.
Yeah.
And Lulu's just like, what? We were just having a little party. It's all right.
That's fantastic. Let's go over the bridge.
Oh, right. Of course. Yeah, we got to get to High Hall. Let's go, guys. Everybody out. That means you, little youngins. Let's go. And the two halfling kids and the two human kids are quickly escorted by their parents out the door and towards the bridge. And as Lulu flies over the bridge, she herself looks out over the side and she says, "Oh my, I remember this." And for a second you all stop as Lulu looks towards you and she says, "There was someone here in Avernus. Someone who I came here with long ago." And she stops and sort of flaps there. Her whole demeanor has changed.
Who was it?
She looks at you and she says, "She was my best friend. Someone who I love very much." Lulu says in this sort of almost fugue state, "My best friend. She was a beautiful golden woman. And her name was..." And she looks at the five of you and she says, "Her name was Zariel."
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
She was very strong and powerful. She assembled an army of warriors to attack hell, although I don't really know why.
Was she an angel?
Yes, yeah. Yes, I remember an angel. We went through a magical gate. And then she sort of like, her voice changes almost to an aggressive stance and she says, "And we began tearing through devils like a song through air. And Zariel was singing those songs, with the knights joining her celestial voice. But then we were betrayed? Yes, I remember the betrayal. But who? I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't remember much more than that. But we must have lost. I guess that's how I lost my memories." And that's all she says for now.
I give Lulu a hug.
She turns towards you, and there are crystalline blue tears in her eyes.
Lulu, I know it's very painful, but you've got to keep trying to remember stuff, because it could save us. Anything you can think of as we travel, you gotta tell us.
I will. We gotta find her. She's here somewhere, I'm sure of it.
Right, but we can't stand around on this bridge, so next stop, High Hall.
As you pass across the bridge to the west side of the broken city of Elturel, and there are massive flames and rivers of lava that encircle the entire city. You have just crossed to the western side of Torm's Blade, and High Hall is to the south-southwest of you, probably the same distance that you traveled when you first arrived here to the bridge itself. So you've got a little bit of a journey before you get to the safety, presumably, of course, of that massive cathedral. You have a human woman whose name is Harkeena and her 2 sons. You also have, I would say, a cluster of halflings. You have found out by talking to them that the halfling that you rescued from this imp, his name is Pilster Pebblehuck, and his wife is named Merriwile. And they have 3 children. So in total, you have 8 people with you.
Got it. And just looking southwest towards High Hall, what can we see about the physical state of the building? Like, does it seem intact? Is it on fire?
Great question.
Having a sandwich?
If it were having a sandwich, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
And
well, it is
potentially
Avernus,
the subject
so I don't
of
know.
another adventure. Yeah, you look down towards High Hall, you see that this enormous structure has minarets and turrets. There are about 4 or 5 of them. One of them, from your vantage point, now that you're looking southward over the myriad buildings, you see that one of them, or multiple of them, seem to be broken and damaged. By what? You're not quite sure.
So the bridges used to be across a river, and now they are spanning just a drop into
a chasm.
Hellscape. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys did look over the side of the bridge and saw the river Styx, but the river itself is not directly below the city. It's hundreds of feet below. And on the sides of that river, you see hundreds or perhaps even thousands of massing forces, all fighting with one another. Mm-hmm. And you remembered from your research that the blood war, the eternal feud between devils and demons, rages far below you.
Mm-hmm. And there are chains attached to the city hanging down to that level, right? Where the Styx is and where the armies are, is that correct?
Exactly. The chains are somehow affixed to the outskirts of the city itself. Even from your vantage point, you can see them. They're towering like giant skyscrapers in the distance, all around the walls of the city. These enormous dark iron anchors, and somehow or other are pulling the city down into Avernus.
Yeah.
Cool in a bad way.
Okay.
Cool isn't horrifying.
And the section we're in, are the buildings intact or are they ransacked, destroyed?
The ones that you've passed by, many have been set on fire. Some have been destroyed. You obviously have witnessed firsthand that this place is not stable, that buildings have been in many ways affected by this transference from plane to plane and have caused buildings to collapse. One of them collapsed directly on Renascence, actually, and only through luck and through the efforts of you all that he survived. But many of these buildings are still intact, but many that you have passed have not been.
So from what I recall of being shown the map of Elturel pre-descent, there is like a green space, like a long Central Park-like green space promenade kind of leading up to High Hall.
Yes.
I propose avoiding that. I think we should stick to the side streets on the east side of High Hall and just kind of head sort of almost directly south from where we are, and then cut into the west, staying off of that central promenade. Because I think there's not a lot of buildings there, and it'll be hard to hide. Like, we'll be very visible.
Yeah, and if we stay on the east side, one side is a precipitous drop.
Right.
So there can't really be anyone sneaking up
we
from
should
that
be able
side.
to see anything, or if there's something flying across the chasm, we would at least see them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that makes sense.
Sounds good.
It's worthwhile mentioning that depending on how well you yourselves are being stealthy, they may also very well be able to see you.
Sure. Sure. I still think it's better than, I think we're going to be really exposed if we go to that central promenade area.
Fair.
Yes, I agree.
So I think, Matt, if it's okay with everybody else, we're going to try to sneak kind of from ruined abandoned building to ruined abandoned building.
Yeah.
Southward, more or less from where we are now.
Okay, great. So let's go ahead and, taking the commoners that you have with you aside for a moment, and leaving this business to the professionals, as they say, Reya and Lulu included, let's have you guys do a group stealth check, please.
Okay. And sorry, just before we do that, I would also sort of propose that we kind of group the commoners with Lulu and keep them behind us a little bit so that we'll try to clear areas first and then have them follow us.
Well, the kids love Lulu. I mean, it's worthwhile stating that she's a big hit with the kids.
Who doesn't?
And Lulu can at least protect them from magic, right? Because you can't cast spells into her aura that she's got around.
Correct. There are no spells that could be cast in or out of the aura that she has.
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, stealth check.
Stealth check. I'm going to guidance myself.
Reya gets guidance.
Ofelia rolled a 23.
Hylan also got a 23.
God damn.
Corbin got a 21.
Well, don't worry. Renascence got a 3.
Okay. Is that before guidance?
That's with guidance. But that may still be a group success.
Well, maybe. Let's see. Here we go with Reya.
That's almost the worst you could roll.
Reya got an 8, but she has guidance, so with guidance, she got a 9.
Oh, boy.
Aww.
Okay.
I feel like Hylan and I are really carrying this team right now, and you guys just need to do a little bit better.
I rolled pretty well.
Yeah, no, Corbin got a 21.
I'm sorry. Corbin,
I will
Corbin, you
turn
can
this
hang with
around
us.
and head right back to characters arrive here.
I mean, as befits the normal course of things, we have 3 pretty decent stealth checks. And 2 Mets, verging on crap.
That's generous.
Generous.
Yeah. Majority rules in this case. And so from a group stealth check perspective, from the 5 of you, I forgot about Lulu. How could I forget Lulu? Lulu's the 6th member of this party. She is, but she's Lulu.
Flying elephant.
She got a 12.
Yeah, that's good. Better than average.
Sure. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to say that it's a wash. 3 decent and 3 not so good. So I guess we'll see how things work out.
We're a good solid average.
Yeah. I prefer differently good.
All right, so the 6 plus 5, that's 11. 11 of you skulk through the streets just on the west side of this enormous chasm. And you get to about 100 feet from the edge of the bridge, and you can all make perception checks.
Is this something where I would be capable of guidancing myself, or it's just
it's been a minute, so I would say so, yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Hylan rolled a nat 1.
Okay.
So she is somehow, I don't know. She's got a song stuck in her head, and she's just really focused on it.
Yeah. Renascence with a 6. I'm getting these rolls out of the way.
Do it now. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Corbin got a 19.
I guess, Corbin, your bugbear ears pick up on a sound coming from the southwest. It's sort of a gurgling, hissing sound. And there are more than one of them for certain. There could be 3 or 4 of these particular sounds coming from a street to the southwest.
All right, Corbin, because I believe he's in the front with Reya, is going to signal everybody to head to the southeast instead of
which was the plan anyway.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay.
And if we need to, maybe hide between some buildings.
Okay.
Yeah.
The kids all sort of look up at the front after you signal to be quiet, and every single one of them is just scared out of their mind. Lulu sort of swivels around, flapping in the air, and puts up her trunk in front of her mouth, almost like a finger, and just goes, shh. And the kids immediately silence themselves and move slowly to the southeast and deposit yourselves, I would say, probably in an alleyway. It certainly seems safe. And as you stay there, the sounds approach where you were. And now there are more of them. You would say probably 6, maybe 7 of these sort of hissing, gargling noises. None of them is making any intelligible language for certain.
I thaumaturgy a scream 60 feet north of our position.
Okay.
A human scream.
Make a deception or performance check.
Okay, not bad. A 15.
Okay. These creatures, which you still cannot see, but certainly can hear, they all immediately go as quiet as the grave as this scream goes off. And then, one by one, they emit this horrendous shrieking howl as if they're signaling each other. And then these horrendous sounding creatures go off at speed, much faster, as if they are charging in the direction of that scream.
Okay, I signal that maybe we can use the cover of their screaming at themselves to quickly move in the opposite direction. So we try to head southeast from here.
Awesome. Okay, you do so. And you pick up the pace a little bit, I would say.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. You come around a little bit of a bend in the street, and you see that in front of you there is a building that is it's ablaze. It's on fire. The entire group of commoners sort of stops in horror as if, oh God, we're trapped. What do we do?
Can we cut between the buildings and go to the east and maybe go around it?
It would be difficult to do so. You would have to make an acrobatics or an athletics check. It's your choice.
I don't like having to. That means the kids are going to have to do it.
Yeah.
Like, how big is the fire?
It's a building-sized fire.
Right. Okay.
Thaumaturgy's not going to snuff it out.
Nope.
Yeah.
Could we go through a building, perhaps, and come out the other side?
That's a good idea. Let's.
You're
enter the
not
nearest
sure.
building.
It's fair to ask, but you're not sure if these buildings have, entrances on one side and exits on the other. It may be that you go into the building and there's no way out except to go right back out the way you came.
Can we at least see a door facing us currently in a nearby building?
You certainly can.
Okay, let's get them off the street first. So we'll try to go in.
Okay, you shove all the commoners into a door. One of you make an athletics check to kick the door in.
I got it.
Guidance.
A 15 with guidance.
Absolutely. You raise your armored thigh and plant your boot directly at the doorknob of this door and kick it in swiftly. It falls right off the hinge, clearly damaged by something, and you see the interior of a household. There is no one inside. You see just a cloud of dust erupt from inside.
Shit, how many more of these do I have left? What do you think, guys? I have one more divine sense here. Should I use it to try to check this house out?
I think we should just go in. Go,
Okay.
get these kids in.
Yeah, let's.
All right,
let's
we go
just
in.
Go.
Okay. You usher the group of commoners alongside you and run into this relatively small and well-furnished cottage. You see that there are paintings on the walls and furnishings all about. Again, no one inside.
Is it possible for me to just prop the door back generally in the opening so it's just not wide open?
Sure, absolutely. You sort of pick the door up. I won't make you roll for it. And you just sort of put it back into place.
Yeah, okay.
Matt, what does the interior look like in terms of, is everything intact? Do things appear to have been disturbed or knocked over in any way?
Yeah, this is definitely not a pristine abode. You see that many of these furnishings seem certainly covered with dust and detritus. Some of the bookshelves have fallen over. Books are spilled across the floor. You see that the kitchen area, it looks like it's been ransacked. By who or by what, you're not sure, but cabinets lie open, foodstuffs just lay strewn about the entire place.
Okay, but so it looks like the place may have been looted, or not just like an earthquake or, say, the results of being dragged into hell. It looks like somebody's come in here and gone through it.
Most likely, yes.
Yes, okay.
And it's one floor?
Yes.
Is there a door in the back? Corbin would like to look for an escape route out or a window.
You see a window, a relatively small window, but not a door on the other side.
Well, how small is the window?
Probably about 3 feet tall by 2 feet wide.
Yeah, we can fit through that.
Probably get through that. Is the glass intact?
The glass is intact.
Can Lulu get through that?
Lulu can certainly get through that.
Okay.
Can thaumaturgy just open that window?
Sure.
I will
Absolutely.
try.
You point your finger at the window and the window floats open.
Nice.
Someone sneaky want to go first?
Hylan, you go, I'll follow.
Sure, I'll go.
Who's closest to the door?
I'll say I hang back by that door.
What's your passive perception?
Nothing special. 11.
As the others of you approach the window, there are some scrabbling sounds on the street right outside the door that you just propped up.
Okay, I'm going to try that again. Thaumaturgy, a human scream 60 feet east of our position, like the other side of the street.
Okay, performance or deception check.
That is a 13.
Do not hear the same silence that you heard before after you performed that scream to the north, nor do you hear these awful howling sounds. The scrabbling, however, is still outside that door.
Okay, I turn around and I gesture to... Sorry, I know Hylan's probably gone out the window during this, but I gesture to try to get the kids out the other window as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but I would still want to be on the outside first, so we're not just putting them out somewhere.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Yeah, one of the kids sort of like just vaults through the window and lands on the other side, and then one by one, the children follow suit.
What can Hylan see out? Like, what's the situation on the other side? Like, once you're through the window?
Yeah, absolutely. When you go to the other side of this particular building, you see that the street continues northward. Mm-hmm. And there maybe is a side street, maybe 100 feet from your position that goes to the west.
Right.
Okay, so I'm staying by the door. I ready in action, pull out Heaven's Fall, and I ready in action to attack an enemy if they come through that door, but I'm going to try to hold that position until everyone else has got through the window.
Okay.
Corbin's going to follow Hylan and the kids out the window. As soon as all the kids are out, he's going to go out.
Okay. The kids all exit. The halflings do as well, as does the human woman. Ofelia, did you leave as well?
Well, I would have, but I would have let Corbin go first. So if he has a problem, then I suppose I would too.
Who goes first between the two of you? Right now, there's 3 of you still inside. Reya actually has left.
Corbin would probably think the kids need the most protection and Bren can handle himself, so he would go out as soon as he could.
Okay, so I would be last, Ofelia would be second to last.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, Reya motions for you, Corbin, to come through.
Go through.
Make an athletics check, please. You're enormous.
I'm looking around, Matt, to see if I'm going to end up making noise. I just stay where I was. Sorry.
Corbin squeezes through, hopefully, with a 16.
He does. You hear this sort of scrape of metal as your armor just makes basically the window just a little bigger, maybe, than it was before.
Should I roll for greasing up Corbin?
Not that again.
It's your signature move, Corbin.
Stupid breastplate.
You're able to come out the other side. It's not the most graceful exit from a building that you've ever had in your whole life, but you are now on the west side of the blockage, shall we say. So now, there's only 2 people left in the house, Ofelia and Renascence. Ofelia, do you want to exit the house?
I do indeed.
Okay, you gracefully jump through. No need for you to make an athletics check at all.
Okay, once everyone else
Show
is
off.
She flips her hair after
She
she sticks a
Legolased it.
perfect landing. Yes.
Once I see that everyone else is through, I'm going to position myself so that it would be quick for me to jump back in.
Okay, you sort of put your hands on the...
Yeah, I'm looking in, seeing if anything's going to happen. If it does, I'm jumping through that window.
All right.
I slowly start backing away, walking backwards away from the door. And as I creep backwards, I'm going to change my ready to action to hit a Toll the Dead if I see that door open.
There is a tense moment where as you sort of back up towards the window, the door sort of moves slightly, as if something on the other side is testing to see if this door is actually still on its hinges. You sort of see it wobble a little bit.
Do I see that?
Yeah,
Okay, then my blades are coming out and I'm readying, throwing them at whatever comes through there.
Okay.
If it's an enemy.
Okay. Reya sort of like whispers, come on. And I'd like Renascence to make I know I'm going to ask you to do this. It's your choice, though.
Yeah.
Either acrobatics or stealth.
Okay, I'm going to try for acrobatics.
All right.
Can you guidance yourself?
Didn't say it. So I got a 5.
Okay.
Oh, God.
+0. Like it.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Hummet.
Which is better than my stealth, because it's at least not disadvantaged.
Very true. That's true. The sad part is that your boot hits one of these bookcases and you hear, all of you from the street outside, just enormous thump.
Every last book individually.
Yep. One by one. Topple, 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 topple.
Full of a toque.
Okay, as quickly as I can, once I've fucked that up, I reach into a pouch at my side and pull out a bunch of seeds and a sliver of feldspar and scatter them across the floor in front of me, and I drop a moonbeam right in front of the door.
Oh my. Okay.
Genius.
Nice.
I'm loving it. Moonbeams are probably not the most silent spell. They probably make sort of an unearthly hiss.
Well, I think that cat's out of the bag.
Yeah,
considering I just knocked the bookshelf over.
100%.
It's
okay,
just
cool.
light.
But it's magic singing light. It's moonlight.
Moonlight.
Absolutely. Okay, cool.
I learned it from watching Corbin.
I know. Oh my God.
So a silvery beam of pale light in a column shines down directly in front of that door and goes 40 feet up from that position. It's like a 5-foot radius column of blue light.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Just in front of that door.
The door is immediately thrown aside as this moonbeam in front of it illuminates what was on the other side. And you see that there is a veritable horde of pale-skinned, bright, blue-eyed humanoid creatures. The closest one to you, its mouth is stained with a reddish-black fluid, and it has needle-like teeth. And as the door is thrown aside and it steps into the moonbeam, it raises its arms to its eyes, and you see that it has this enormous set of claw-like fingers, which are also stained with red and black. And as it screeches in horror, you see it open its mouth, and out of it, a snake-like tongue flies out of its mouth as it screeches in pain, and this tongue is probably about 1.5 feet long.
Great.
Hi, everybody. It's your cool uncle, Tal Aviezer, Renascence on this show. The show will be back shortly for the second half. I would like to start by mentioning that the episode you're listening to was recorded in early fall 2021, and it's about trying to escort frightened refugees through a ruined city that is under attack and being destroyed. As we were editing the episode this week, it was really hard not to think about the current situation in Ukraine. There are some obvious parallels. I did just want to clarify that it is an eerie coincidence, since the session was recorded months ago and wasn't an intentional allegory on our part. But if you would like to help the Ukrainian people, one thing you can do is donate to Doctors Without Borders in Ukraine. I will include a link in the show notes for that. Dungeon Masters Guild has also put together a bunch of deeply discounted charity bundles to support that organization. One of my adventures, Attack on Coppercoil, is included in Mega Bundle number 2. So if you would like to support Ukraine and get a whole bunch of Dungeons & Dragons stuff, I will put that link in the show notes as well. 100% of the proceeds from that bundle go to Doctors Without Borders in Ukraine. If you enjoy Podcast Party, please follow the show, rate us, and leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you. Message us on social media or email us at info@cast-party.com. Follow us on Facebook at CastPartyDND, on Twitter at CastParty2, or on Instagram at cast_party. Thanks very much for listening. And now back to our adventure in Avernus.
Okay, so if it did step right into the Moonbeam, it is immediately going to take some radiant damage.
It did.
Great.
So yeah, it steps into the Moonbeam, makes a con save. What's the DC on that con save?
The DC on that con save is 14.
Okay, it rolled a 15.
Fuck.
Ugh.
So it shields its eyes.
Yeah, it still takes some damage. It takes 2 radiant.
Okay, the skin on its pale white arms begin to sort of smolder and are scorched by the moonbeam. This enormous howl of pain comes out of the creature, and it is echoed by all the creatures behind it as well. It's literally just a symphony of one echoing another, echoing another, echoing another, as if they are all coming from the same pained creature. And then the lead, its arms are almost too long. They come down almost below its knees, and its fingernails scratch on the floor. You see that it looks at you with just intense hatred and perhaps even hunger. Go ahead and make an Arcana check, please.
Is it possible that my religious training might cover?
That might work too.
It's just so shitty today. A 9.
Okay, you are definitely sure of one thing. This creature is not alive any longer. It is clearly some form of undead creature. It has resemblance to humans, but clearly the skin is too pallid, the eyes lack any intelligence or life in them. Some kind of unlife is certainly powering whatever is in this creature and all the creatures behind it. I will give you one action before we roll initiative. What do you wish to do?
When he's done, I'm gonna throw those blades.
I'll tell you what, since you can see them too, why don't you roll a religion or arcana check for me as well, Hylan?
Okay. Oh, I also got a 9.
Oh, it's a knight of nines, it seems. Yep, definitely undead. Not quite sure what, though.
Yep, it's gross.
Okay. We each get an action, you said?
Each of you, in turn, will get an action.
Cool. The moonbeam stays there.
Yeah,
I assume it's pretty much filling the doorway.
it is filling the doorway, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to toll the dead on it.
Okay.
So it needs to make a DC 14 wisdom save.
It got a 7.
Okay, so it did fail. It takes 20 necrotic.
Whoa!
Holy cow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's the best Toll the Dead I've ever
my
seen.
Toll the Dead, now that we're 5th level, my Toll the Dead,
yeah.
if it's wounded, 2d12.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
That's pretty darn close to the top. As you watch this creature in the lead, which looked at you with eyes burning with hatred, you see that the eyes just bulge out of its skull, pop out, land on the floor. The entire creature explodes. And fleshy bits just land all over yourself and the rest of this room. All of the creatures behind it howl.
Disgusting.
Anyone want to do anything else?
God, I'm glad I saw that. I just say, Renascence, do you want to try to get out the window? I'll help.
I say, I'm going to hold them here for a bit, get the kids away.
Okay, this is all free action talking,
Yeah.
right? Okay, I'm going to look out the window and say, get everyone away from here. We'll hold them back. And I'm going to jump in.
Okay. There's not a lot of space in this particular room. I would say maybe it's like 15 by 15. So it'll cover the doorway with that moonbeam. You guys are pretty much side by side inside this space. The window is directly behind you.
Yep.
I just want to
cool.
give them time to get the kids away from the building.
Okay.
Yep. I still have an action, right? Or was going through the window my action?
I would say no, that's part of your move.
Okay, then I will ready another action, which is just when another one comes through the door, I'm going to throw blades
Okay, very cool. I will give as well actions to Corbin and Ofelia.
What can we tell is happening?
You hear just a...
Uh-huh.
That wasn't me. I'm still alive.
But we can't see any of these creatures because we're on the other side, right?
You hear them, though. They sound just like the creatures that may have been following you since the streets to the north.
Yeah, I want to yell out the window, get the kids away from here, Corbin.
We'll hold them back.
All right, is there a place that Corbin can lead them?
You look and you see that the street goes north and then to the west.
North is the way we came, though.
That is correct.
All right, so I'm gonna lead the kids and everyone west, and I'm gonna tell Reya to guard our back.
If I'm Reya, watch our backs means whatever's coming through that door, protect us. And so I think Reya would unsheath her longsword, look into this particular space through the window at whatever the hell is going on in there, no pun intended, and keep one eye on you as you and the kids are running to the north and potentially to the west, and then keeping another eye on whatever's going on inside this house. Ofelia?
Are you all right? She asked, do you need any healing?
I say get the kids away from the building. We'll catch up with you.
Then I guess she'll just do that. She'll go with Corbin and the kids.
Unless you feel like inspiring us.
Hint.
I can't. I already. I wish I could, but I have inspired you all so much today, and we haven't taken a nap, so I can't. My inspiration levels.
No, I understand.
Well, she sends a message in her head. Message me if you need me.
It's good.
Oh, that's a good idea.
The only cantrip she can.
No, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
If that's all, let's roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Renascence got a 16.
Hylan got a 16.
Ophelia got a 21.
Corbin got an 18.
I picture Renascence and I trying to go at the same time. She's like, oh no, did you? Oh, okay. But
You guys can choose who goes first. It's cool.
Well, it's like that scene in Clue when Colonel Mustard and the Scarlet trying to get out of the bar.
Yes. Yes.
Never quote Clue. No, don't do it.
Good.
Why not?
yes.
Oh, don't even, Andy.
Yes. Andy.
Don't go there, sir.
Wow.
Matt, can we just kill his character?
Right now.
Breathless, heaving
I feel
breaths.
like this is... Yeah.
Candyland, the movie, is better.
That is...
You and I are going to have to come to blows here.
No, you're going to need to kill his character, Matt.
I might have to do so.
And then when our listeners get upset that you've killed Corbin, you're going to play them this sequence, and then they'll understand, and they'll all be on your side.
That wasn't my voice. That was Tal doing my voice.
Sure it was.
Wasn't me.
It was thaumaturgy. It was dirty thaumaturgy.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. Ofelia, you are first.
Well, I guess we're going to be just trying to get these kids as far away as possible. So she'll lead the way. She'll go in front of the pack, and I'll keep my rapier out just in case I see any sights of danger. And can I use my action to make a perception check to see if I can see or hear anything dangerous that could be lurking about? Ophelia rolled a 21 in perception.
Okay. Yeah, as you run to the north and to the west, away from the rest of your party, of course, Corbin and Lulu and the rest of you guys trailing behind.
That's a fine idea.
You do not sense or see anything to the north or to the west. Let's move to Corbin.
Is there actually a place we can hide or stash them?
Well, wouldn't I have noticed something like that with my perception
you know
check?
what? You looked with your perception with a 21. Yeah, I would say that maybe, Ophelia, you did actually see a sort of small alleyway to the north, maybe 50 or so feet ahead of you.
Over there.
Nice.
Points.
All right, so Corbin's going to try to usher everybody over there.
Okay.
And wait and then head back, I guess, and try to listen to see if he can hear if the fighting's going bad, because he's torn between whether he should stay here or go back and help his friend. So he's not very smart. So he's going to sort of go 50-50. He's going to split the difference.
Okay, so let's say you're probably, instead of going all the 50 feet towards the alleyway, you're like 25 feet from both.
Okay, and then can he listen or to see if he can tell if there's any enemies or if the fight's going poorly, anything like that?
Yes, make a perception check.
That's a 24.
Yeah.
You definitely hear growling and snarling and all kinds of awful sounds inside that house, as well as the glowing magic of that wonderful spell that has just been cast inside. Beyond that, nothing.
Okay, and I guess that's it.
Hylan, it is your turn. You are about 10 feet away from the nearest creature in the doorway, which sees its fallen comrade, doesn't even really pay very much mind to it, but looks like it's ready to leap in and, well, eat your face off, I guess.
Do we have a sense
All
of
right.
how many of these creatures there are?
You can see from your vantage point, Renascence, that there are at least 4, perhaps more.
Okay.
All right, well, eat this psychic blade. And I throw one at it.
Okay.
And I miss with an 8.
Okay. You throw your psychic blade at this creature. It instinctively ducks, and then the blade disappears.
Okay, and then I will throw the second one at it. That's a 20.
20 will hit.
Okay, it's not within melee range of my ally, correct?
Correct.
Okay, takes 7 psychic damage.
Okay, you throw your blade. This one catches it right in the chest. It sort of staggers back and emits this sort of sucking noise. And then, yeah, you've definitely heard it.
Okay, great. I'm gonna stay where I am.
Okay.
Okay, as soon as I see that blade go in, I follow it up with a Toll the Dead whistle. It's got to make a DC 14 Wisdom save.
It rolled a natural 1.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Yeah, this time it only takes 6 necrotic.
Necrotic, okay. You see sort of bits of flesh fall off of its frame and hit the ground. It's still up and running. It didn't explode like its friend there.
I totally saw that last time, though. Don't worry.
I'm still holding the Moonbeam in place.
Okay. And now it is Lulu's turn. Lulu sort of continues to flap and guide the children like a small elephant, Mary Poppins, towards the alleyway, all the while going, "It's all right, children. It's gonna be just fine. It's gonna be just fine." And sort of looking behind her over at Reya with a worried glance. That's basically all that Lulu is doing right now. Meanwhile, Reya sidles up to the window that you are directly in front of, Renascence. And so she says, "Excuse me," and she taps you on the shoulder.
A little busy.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I see.
I duck.
Wow.
I duck.
Yeah, she says, "I hate ghouls," and she fires a crossbow bolt over your head, Renascence, at one of these creatures in the doorway. And she hits it with an 18, doing 4 piercing damage.
All right.
And she says to you, Renascence, "I might want to get in there. You might want to just scooch a bit."
How much space have I got between me and the Moonbeam?
10 feet.
Okay.
It's in the doorway.
Right. I just,
Well, actually, technically, is it right in the doorway, or is it...
It's so if they have to enter the building, they would have to walk into it, however that is.
Okay. Yeah, so if you move another 5 feet in, then you're going to be in part of the Moonbeam, too.
Yeah, I'm not, I don't want them to get in melee with me, so I'm not moving. I'm just going to say, just stay out there, keep shooting, it's fine.
Okay, yep, And that is the end of Ray's turn. Okay. Clearly nominated before, these are ghouls. They don't like moonlight, especially if it causes them harm. That said, you guys look fantastically delicious, and so they're more than willing to take the damage just to get at you.
Oh, yeah.
So these ghouls all just file in through the open doorway and into the Moonbeam, one by one taking the damage. So all of them are going to just move into this space and surround you all.
Well, they can't get behind us.
That is correct, but they are basically filling the whole room, which is a 15-foot by 15-foot room. There are 6 of these ghouls. It is, Jesus. Yeah, it is a Romero-esque scene right now as these creatures all run in one by one into the Moonbeam and all are burned by them. So I'm going to do 6 Constitution saving throws. I'll tell you how many succeed. The DC is
14.
14. All right, here we go. Okay, of the 6, 2 succeed, the rest fail.
So 15 radiant to anyone who failed.
Nice.
Yeah.
And 7 to any who succeeded, and one of them was already pretty badly wounded, I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, the one who steps in right behind his buddy who exploded steps into the Moonbeam and just falls to pieces, and then the rest sort of just shamble in after him. So there are 2 now that are just deceased, well, extra deceased, on the floor, and the rest have all taken 15 damage from this Moonbeam.
Clutch.
Now, is there enough room in the house that they are capable of being clear of it?
Let me see. It is a 5-foot radius, so technically 1, 2, 3 of them are still in the radius of the Moonbeam as they are standing, as they come in, because they just can't get over the others.
Got it. So they're going to have to deal with that on their next turn.
That is correct.
Okay.
Moonbeam saving our asses.
Okay. With that said, there are 4 ghouls in this room. 2 of them are going to attack Renascence, and 2 of them are going to attack Hylan. They just reach out their extra long arms with these nasty, enormously sharp claws. One attack on Renascence is a 7, which I'm sure misses.
Yes.
The second attack on Renascence is a 12, which again pings off of Gargs. Sure, Gargs liked that one.
Yep.
Here comes the claw attacks on Hylan. It's a natural 1.
Woohoo!
And here comes the last one. Wow, an 8.
All right.
They suck.
You are just too dexterity-ish, to coin a phrase.
Oh yeah, bobbing and weaving.
So we are now back to the top of the order. We're at Ofelia.
Okay. I guess I'm going to keep guiding the children toward this safe-looking alley that I have found. If I can, I'd like to, again, just do a perception check for any danger that could be lurking in the alley as we get closer.
Sure.
Ooh, that is a critical perception check. 23.
Yeah, you are 100% sure that in this amazingly dangerous place, that there's nothing that poses danger in that alleyway to you or to the children.
This alleyway is safe, she says. You can wait here, and we'll come back as soon as possible, and then I'd like to start dashing in the other direction to go help my friends.
Yep, that's fine. You get about halfway. You see Corbin is standing there in the middle of the street. And you deposit the children and then run back and probably meet Corbin just about halfway.
Don't worry, that alley is perfectly safe. I told them to wait there until we get back. That's it for me.
All right, we are now moving on to Corbin.
Corbin is not going to leave the children alone, and he's going to say to Ofelia, "Send me one of those mind messages if you need my help." And he is going to take a position. He's going to hide at the edge of the alley, and if anything tries to come in, he's going to bugbear jump it and gank it if he has to.
All right.
Okay, she says in a message in his head.
All right, so Lulu's maybe 15 feet from you. Ofelia is running back towards the window, and now we are at Hylan.
Okay, I assume they are now in melee range of me.
Oh, very much so.
So I'm going to make 2 new psychic blades and stab the one in front of me. Again, the first one is an 8.
Unfortunately, that misses. It brings up its arms and blocks your attack.
Okay, second one is an 11.
An 11 also misses. It's too close.
There's so
You're
many
normally used to
ghouls in here.
There's just too many ghouls. Too many ghouls, not enough time.
Yeah, ghoul everywhere. So then I'm frustrated and I'm gonna stay where I am.
All right, Renascence, you're up.
Okay, I try to pick one out that's within reach of my mace that looks particularly wounded.
They're all particularly wounded in pretty much the exact same way.
Okay. Yep, I swing Heaven's Fall in a wide arc at it. That is a 22.
Nice.
All right.
That'll definitely hit.
Okay, now that's 6 bludgeoning, but they are undead.
Yeah.
And Heaven's Fall does radiant against undead creatures. In addition to that,
Yes.
only 1. Okay, so a total of 7.
7's all they had, actually. So that one its skull is caved in. It literally just turns to bones in front of you.
All right.
I turn to the next one and I say, "You're next, sunshine." And I take my second attack. A 10.
A 10 will miss.
Okay.
You were perhaps a little overconfident there as it sort of reaches out its overly long hands and gnashes at you, and you immediately withdraw back.
That's all I've got.
All right. Lulu forgoes her turn as she stays trying to quiet and calm the children. Reya sees just a mess of ghouls in this room. And she's like, I would really like to get in there and slay the undead. Don't worry, it's cool. It's just, it's what I do. Never mind, it's fine. As you say, Hylan, duck.
Yeah, I duck.
And she fires her crossbow bolt. And she gets a 6, and the crossbow bolt embeds in one of the walls in the room. She's like, not so good with this thing, never was, really. Ah, damn it. It is now the ghouls' turn. There are, as far as you can see, 4 ghouls remaining in this room.
Okay, how many of them are still within radius of the Moonbeam?
So 2 of them did start in the radius of the Moonbeam.
Okay, so they will need to make DC 14 con saves.
Got it. They both fail.
They both take 13 radiant.
And they explode.
Such a good spell.
God bless Moonbeam.
Oh, boy.
So you've killed 5. There are 2 left.
Yep.
Right.
All right. So yeah, they'll both attack Renascence with their claws. The first one is a 23 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay, please make a Constitution saving throw. Ghouls.
That is a 21 on the con.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you feel the harmful, potential venomous attack that is leaking through into the fingertips of these ghouls and attempting to paralyze you, but you fight it off. However, you still take 6 slashing damage.
Okay.
And then the second one is a 21 to hit.
That also hits.
That's 7 slashing damage. Please make another Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, a 3.
Oh, that one paralyzes you.
Oh!
You were good on the first one, but now your limbs stiffen and you watch Hylan as
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah,
so
he is
That was
not in a good way.
A 6 and a 7 on the damage, right?
A 6 and a 7, that's correct.
I'm just making checks. Okay, I do keep the Moonbeam up for what it's worth.
Awesome. That's their turn. It is now Ophelia's turn again.
Okay, that was fast. Well, I'd like to close the gap between myself and the window, if I may.
Absolutely, you were right next to Reya.
Hi, Reya. Would you mind just getting out of the way just for a quick second?
She looks over at you and says, "You're awfully calm. There's some stuff going on in there right now."
She then looks through the window and goes, "Oh, okay, that's all right. We can figure this out." I will just cast Dissonant Whispers on whichever one appears to be the least damaged.
Look left, you look right. They both look pretty messed up. You just see, leaking fluids and exposed bone. They're both pretty in bad straits here.
Well, whichever one hurt Renascence, then I guess Reya probably would have filled me in on that.
Yeah, she's like,
I'm mad at that one.
And she just points over Renascence's shoulders. That one.
Okay. Ophelia's eyes roll back in her head and she begins to whisper, and I cast Dissonant Whispers.
Ooh.
And that's a DC 15 Wisdom save.
Fails.
All right.
12 points of psychic damage, and it must immediately use its reaction if available to move as far as its speed allows away from me.
Well, you can't really move very far if you're already dead. So,
Well,
in this case, the creature just its head sort of lolls to one side. You hear an exhalation of whatever was remaining in this creature's lungs while it was alive, and it just falls to the ground, lifeless again.
you're welcome. That's
All
my
right.
turn.
Corbin, you're up.
Corbin is going to cast guidance on himself. Your Malta, guide me. And he's going to close his eyes, and he's just going to try to listen with his bugbear ears are going to perk up, and he's going to try to hear what he can hear.
Go for it. Perception check.
Dirty 20.
Besides the horrendous ambience of hell, the cracking of the streets, you do not sense anything within perhaps 100 feet of you, at least from your hearing, that would pose a danger to you, to the children, to the commoners, to Lulu. Just this awful ruckus going on inside the house, and the fires to the south of you.
Quietly to himself, which is really directed at his friends, he's going to say, I'm sorry, I gotta stay here. And he's just going to keep his position.
For the first time since your little episode, after you died, Corbin, you hear a voice in your head. You're pretty darn sure that this voice comes from none other than Cassandra. And her voice says to you,
That's right. You're doing exactly what I thought you would. Good boy.
I'm not your dog. I'm not your dog. I'm not your dog. And he tries to shake the voice out of his head.
make a wisdom saving throw.
21.
You do a great job of drowning out this sultry, lilting voice out of your mind. And just as you do so, you just hear a little giggle filtering down to nothing. Moving on. Hylan.
Okay, I'm going to use steady aim to give myself advantage on this attack. That's a 15 to hit.
A 15 will hit.
Fantastic. That's 4 psychic and 10 sneak attack for 14 total.
Absolutely. you sort of position yourself directly behind Renascence and throw your psychic blade around his back at this creature's head. It goes straight into its skull, and it falls to the floor and is no more.
And that's all of them that I can see, right?
Indeed, that is all of those ghouls that are now redeceased.
Okay. Renascence.
Oil can.
I'm gonna say, Reya, can you do something? He can't move.
We could pull him out the window. I mean, damn ghouls.
Where's Corbin?
How does it work with ghouls? Do I get a save on my turn?
You do get a save on your turn.
It is my turn.
It is now your turn, so go ahead and make that saving throw.
It's a con save, right?
That is correct.
I'm gonna smack him across the face.
May or may not help.
I got a 14.
That's enough. Yeah, and just as you come out of it.
Oh, I feel much. Ow.
No, I'm saying I smacked him, and then he's gonna wake up and I'm gonna think I did it.
Thanks, Hylan. You saved me. Are the kids all right?
Yes, I think so, as far as I know.
Reya turns to Ofelia and she says, "Are the kids all right?"
The kids are just fine. They're in a very safe alley that I made sure was incredibly safe. They're with Lulu as well, but we can get back to them now. Let's go.
Right, let's get a move.
Okay.
I will help Hylan climb through the window, and then I'll climb out after.
Excellent. All right. Quickly, you all file out of that space and run across the street and see Corbin standing there, shaking his head a little bit, and directly next to him is Lulu, and she's sort of flapping her wings, facing the alleyway. And the kids are all sitting down on the ground of the alleyway, like a kindergarten class at school, all looking at a performative person who's come maybe to their school and is just rapt by said performer. Lulu is just sort of flying up and down and sort of spinning around, and the kids are they're loving it.
Aww.
They're loving it. Parents are also sort of like looking at their kids and looking at Lulu like, where do we get one of these?
I mean, everybody wants their own Lulu.
Let's keep moving for High Hall. I sort of reach up to my collarbone where the ghoul clawed me, and I'm just going to cast a Cure Wounds on myself. Oh, fuck. Okay, I recover 4 hit points.
Okay.
Would you like another one?
I would love one.
I will cast Cure Wounds on you as well.
Woo!
That's 11.
Awesome, thank you.
You are welcome.
Ophelia, how many level 1 spells do you have left?
1 now.
I've got 2 level 1 spells left. Some tiefling shit, and that's about it.
I do have 2 third level spell slots left, so there's that.
All right.
That's true.
Corbin has 2 first level spells and 1 third level spell.
All right, so you all make your way out of the building, running to the northwest. The children and their parents look at you expectantly.
Okay. Is there a way we can go south from our current position?
You can.
So we could just go west 1 house.
Yeah, I'd say we cut west 1 block and then turn south.
Yes.
That's about right.
Assuming there's nothing south, Corbin will
Right.
look south.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, you peer around the corner and you do not see anything to the south.
Okay, let's keep going.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So please make a new stealthy stealths.
Reya will get guidance again.
I will guidance myself again for all the good it does.
Hylan got a 19.
Ooh.
Corbin got an 11.
With guidance, Renascence got an 8.
Okay. Reya got a 6.
Oh no!
Plus guidance.
That's an 8 with guidance.
Ophelia got a 16.
And Lulu.
Crit.
And Lulu.
Lulu got a 16.
That's not bad.
Yes, Lulu. Come
So,
through.
like last time, 3 good and 3 poop.
Yeah.
So, you're not quite sure how stealthy you are, but you'll, I guess, perhaps find out. You move southward along this street. As you look to the west, you do in fact see a little portion of that promenade that you were attempting to avoid. As opposed to the map that you obtained from Traxigor, which showed El Turel as it used to be, and showed this promenade area with green, verdant trees and beautiful plains of grass, you see that these grass beds have all turned yellow and dry, and the trees have lost all of their leaves. They are now bent and twisted. Their branches are twisted into claws and reaching skyward as if they were pleading for mercy. You also see sort of a large swath of that park is also on fire. And you make your way south from there, about, 200, 300 feet past a few buildings, and you peer west. There seem to be a couple of statues, the tops of which seem to have been shorn off. And you continue, I assume, past that. Mm-hmm. Perhaps a little further south, another couple hundred feet.
Yep.
You do see that High Hall looms in the distance. No longer. It is now much closer to you. You are perhaps 300 or 400 feet away from the outside facade of High Hall itself.
Wow.
I say, Reya, have you been to High Hall before?
Of course I have. Yes, absolutely.
So I can see the main gate. Is there another way in? Maybe something a little less ostentatious?
I'll be honest, no. There's never been a reason to have one.
What do you think? I feel like the main gate, they could be watching it.
There's no Sully port or anything, like nothing?
Well,
What about the ruins there? I sort of point to the west side of the building.
Yeah, she says, I don't know what made that, but that is certainly not from before. And you all look past the houses and see that the entire western portion of High Hall has been reduced to a pile of smashed brick and broken wood. And the surviving buildings are blackened by soot. At the center of the castle grounds, the High Hall Cathedral stands defiant.
3 options I can think of. Go in on the east side, try to scale the wall. Go up the center, try to get through the main gates. Or go on the west side and see if there's a way in through the breach in the collapsed section. What does everyone think?
One of the halflings raises his hand.
Go on, Pilster.
And he says, listen, I've seen High Hall before. I've never actually been inside, but I'm not particularly fond of going that area where all that all that brick and wood is. My children and I will certainly fall on and hurt ourselves. I would prefer that maybe I'm not very much for confrontations, but I'm willing to find a way inside the front if my children and my wife find someplace safe.
Okay, that's 1 vote against the ruins, and I see Pilster's point there. It could be rusty nails or who knows what else in that area. That's tetanus. You don't want that. I was thinking...
You know what?
Yeah, go on, Ofelia.
I was going to say perhaps this could be the time to use the last example of your divine sense.
Good point. We do need to get a bit closer, I think, for that to be effective. It's a bit of a short-range situation with that. What if, in terms of child safety, what if we're able to get somebody up on that wall on the east side, and then we could maybe lower a rope or something and bring the children up that way?
Anyone know if there's a sewer or a well or something we can go under?
I'm worried about going under, considering what's underneath us, you know?
Reya says, also considering that there really isn't a way down from here except to go hundreds of feet below us to whatever is below the city. There used to be an old Sally port, that some form of a escape route, but it's in the catacombs of High Hall. We wouldn't use it ever unless it was for emergencies. Considering what's gone on, I don't even know where that thing is coming out of right now. It could be that it just goes out and we would fall to our doom.
Right. Okay. Underground, dangerous. Got it. Any opinions vis-a-vis main gate versus climbing that wall on the east side?
How high is that wall?
The walls are 60 feet high.
I mean, I'm certainly willing to try climbing it.
We're exposed. I say front gate.
Yeah. Okay.
Front gate, let's take it. I don't like those ruins. I don't.
Yeah.
So I guess we should just stay under cover of these houses until we get right up to it, right?
Yeah. And I think maybe that last building that's like closest to High Hall, maybe we could put Lulu and the kids in there until we see if the gate area is safe.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good idea if Ofelia, Corbin, and I kind of go in front a little bit.
You want to scout?
Yeah.
Okay.
Corbin,
Yes.
as you are listening to this plan taking shape, you have the highest of all of your friends' passive perceptions. So it's with a certain degree of terror that you hear the sound of something rather large. You hear the sound of clacking, like enormous hooves coming down the street to your west, directly down the center of the promenade.
There's something coming down the promenade. We gotta get out of this area now.
Okay,
And if it's
go
coming down the promenade, it's going for the front door.
Cheers, Corbin.
Okay.
Let's move then.
Let's go.
Yep.
Okay. Lulu hears that, and she sort of looks out at the promenade, and she takes a quick glance at what is coming towards you. And she says, "Oh no. Oh no." And she turns back towards you all, and her eyes are enormous. And she says, "That's real bad.
What is it, Lulu?
That's a Narzagon."
What's that?
Oh, great.
A Narzagon? It's a real evil thing. I remember just a little bit while I was down here in Avernus, and
Okay, let's do that as a walk and talk, all right?
okay.
Does Corbin know what that is?
Make a religion check.
11?
You've never heard of a Narzagon before.
Maybe Renascence has.
Go for it.
Renascence with a natural 20 for a 23.
Oh boy, you know all about Narzagons.
I majored in Narzagons at the major school for friendless boys. I did a whole diorama about this.
Well, if you indeed did a diorama, it would have been really cool, because half of it would be on fire, because Narzagons are devilish riders of flaming steeds.
Oh, man.
Holy, that is cool.
That is cool. I want to be a Narzagon when I grow up.
I'll just be the horse. That's cool.
Real evil. I mean, the horse is pretty cool too.
Oh, I want no part of this.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Yeah, I don't want to fight one.
That's good to know where that is on Lulu's good to bad scale. So yeah, we're gonna make for the gate.
Thanks for listening. This episode featured the Dungeon Master stylings of Matt Gordon, Andy Cannistra as Painbearer Corbin Shiv, Carolyn Fox as Hylan, Rachel Tamarin as Ofelia, and me, Tal Aviezer, as Renascence. This episode was edited by Carolyn Fox and me. Our original theme music is by Lauren Anker and Anthony DiMasso. Remember, if you enjoy Podcast Party, please follow the show, rate us, and leave us a review. Thanks very much for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the next episode.
Give me 1 second as it come on, guys. Is this a motorcycle night?
We can't hear it, Matt.
Oh, I know you can't, but you never know. My recording can.
Mm-hmm.
Apologies.
Well, our listeners with motorcycles, we
Yeah.
apologize
We
for
love you
Matt's,
very much.
Yeah. I get it. It's fine.
You would never do this.
Matt only likes 4 wheels. He gets angry at 2 wheels.
She
We don't understand why.
He's actually a tricycle man.
I
Big
like
wheel.
Don't make fun of my big wheels. It's all good.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with a tricycle.